Hi everyone and welcome back to the channel. This is Carmina, astrologer with Vedic principles and reader with the cards of truth. So today we're going to continue the series on looking at each of the cards, each of the numbers, the number meanings in the context of astrology, numerology, and how we fit those interpretations into the cards of truth. So I think only the kings are left to do after this video, and I'm gonna do that soon as well, and then gonna make a separate playlist with the cards from the ace to the king. And also I haven't forgotten that I have to be talking about the underlying and overlying cards as well, as I promised you at least a month ago. Yes. Yesterday we had a workshop on the cards of truth on manual casting, and it was very satisfying. Card workshops are, I really love the way they go, because the interpretation is also very personal, and I love to see how the cards fit into the particular situation. So thank you for all those who took part in this workshop. And I'm gonna do more workshops soon. If you can't wait, there is a courses section on my website where you can buy all the classes that we did. Okay, so moving on to our things. Number 6. Usually number 6 has a pretty bad rap, a pretty bad name, because in Christianity, well, it's not really Christianity, it's more like pop culture, like, I don't know, religious pop culture. It's associated to the number of the beast, which is 666. And I'm gonna tell you how that number 6 actually is not an evil number. There is no such thing as evil number. It's what you make of it, of course. Numbers are, like nature, like neutral. They just are. They just represent some archetypes of some actions, some things that come into being, some stages in our lives. So you can't say that a number is evil. Of course not. But before I'm going to explain why it's not evil, I'm just going to say, a 666 is the devil, and it's also called Lucifer. And Lucifer is said to be the morning star, which is Venus. So, Venus is associated to the number 6, even in this poppy, more general, folklore, our pop culture that we have today. And also in ancient Vedic Sanskrit texts, number 6 is also associated to Venus. It's considered to be by Parashara, Brihat Parashara Ora Shastra, a reference work that all the Vedic astrologers quote. It's associated to Venus. It's a manifestation of the planet Venus. You will also see that this number 6 is actually very earthy. It's a very earthy number. It doesn't have anything devilly in it. Why am I saying that? Because we as humans, we are carbon-based beings, and carbons is composed of 6 protons, 6 neutrons, and 6 electrons. This is actually the chemical composition. So it's 666, so we are related to this earthy composition, this number 6, this very worldly thing. And you will also see that in nature, the hexagon appears quite a lot as a naturally occurring shape. For instance, the bees, they construct their beehives in hexagons. And the snowflakes, they are hexagons as well. And a lot of flowers, they are hexagons. So this is something that is very natural. It doesn't have an evil connotation. So what is Venus that corresponds to this number 6? Venus is said to be, the planet of fulfillment, but it's not, the higher fulfillment, although it can be. It's usually more the worldly fulfillment, because Venus is said to be, in Vedic mythology, the teacher of the Asuras, which are like, they're called the demons, but they're not actually demons. They're more like titans, what we in Western culture understand as titans. So Venus is, is also a guru, a Brahmin planet, but it's the teacher that teaches you what you need in order to live a good life in the world. So it's more a practical teacher. So whenever we see that number 6, we think of a fulfillment, but a worldly fulfillment. And in the cards, it's not different. The 6 of Spades, for instance, is fulfillment with your own person, fulfillment with your health, it's maturity, psychological, maturity, and physical maturity. My teacher Ernst Wilhelm compares it to the tree that's, fruiting, that's at its peak. So that's a really good card to have in your spread, appear in your spread. If this 6 of Spades is reversed, the person can have delays in reaching this maturity, or, has to fight for it, is not approaching it in a correct manner. So, or there will be frustrations trying to achieve it, because, spades are the hardest working suit of them all. Also, when we have a 6 of hearts, as we said, it's like the worldly fulfillment with our emotions, which is hearts, with our family. It's the most emotional comfort we can get from, feelings in this world. In card spreads, it can be the card of marriage, the 6 of hearts. Or it can be just, okay, the person is really emotionally comfortable and validated by the world. But if the 6 of hearts is reversed, the person is seeking that, but not really, it's not really happening for them. Maybe they have to change their idea or their approach on it. But, if you see it reversed, if you use reverse pip cards, or if you see it with, Pluto, Saturn, the North Node, Rahu, in the cards of truth software, that there's going to be a lot of delays and confusion, and things will not turn out as you expected with that emotional fulfillment. Then in the club suit, the 6 of clubs is professional achievement, like success, professional acclaim, the society validating your ideas, your creativity, your inspiration. It's like having a successful career, something that you like doing, that you're inspired to do. And of course, if it's reversed, you have trouble achieving that. You have trouble achieving that validation, or you're not really happy about it. For instance, at the moment in my year spread, I'm running a 6 of clubs, and it's on my Saturn card. So we know that in the cards of truth software, we prefer not to have even cards on odd places. So we prefer not to have a 6 on the 7th spot, which is the Saturn card, because that 6 can be like the in best case scenario delayed, or at worst it can be destroyed. Of course, it's also important where the Saturn planet is, but I'm not going to go into much detail. But I can say from personal experience that although I am doing a lot of things, I don't feel I don't really feel I'm grasping the peak, the most of my inspiration of what I can do. Yeah, so you might feel like that if you have a reverse six of clubs, or if it's affected by Saturn or whatnot. Okay, so last but not least, we have the six of diamonds. Diamonds relate to concrete things. They relate to money, they relate to concrete skills, they relate to land, to minerals, to gems. So when you have the six of diamonds, like you get like a very copious amount of money, you feel successful in terms of finances, and you feel validated, like the world is validating your efforts, you're doing a great job. So it's a really nice card to have. But always keep in mind that these sixes, they are really nice to have, they're really comfortable if they're in a good place and without like really severe afflictions. But that's not the end of the road, that's not the end of the cards. There are many cards after the six. So if you look at the number 8 video, you will see there is also a greater fulfillment than this worldly fulfillment, which is important, which is a stage, of course, a stage that we go through. We can't like override it, we can't exclude it, but we have to keep in mind it's not the end all. It's not we got there and then we stagnate in bliss. No, we move on to the 7 when we realize like our limitations, and then we move on to the 8 and the 9, which are the cards related to the nodes, where we get the deeper fulfillment with the self and with us in context of surrendering to what is, which is the 9s. And also it's important to mention that sixes are related to the queen card, because the queens harness the energy of the 4, 5, and 6, but especially the 5, but 6 as well. So they pertain to this stage of sustenance, of maintenance, because jacks were the initiators. They correspond to the Uranian energy of starting the spark off, to the Brahma energy, if you're familiar with Sanskrit Vedic text, and then the queens, which hold within them the energy of 4, 5, and 6. They are the sustenance, the maintenance, the Vishnu. They do the hard work. They have the energy to keep things moving. And then the 7, 8, and 9s have the energy of the king, with a more Plutonian quality, like Saturn and Pluto are connected to these kings. I mean Saturn, the nodes, and Pluto as encompassing these energies, and Saturn as corresponding to the 7, the north node to the 8, and the south node to the 9. So yeah, this is about it for the number 6. So now, just to end symmetrically, as we begin explaining how the number 6 is not evil, I'm just gonna say that in the major arcana, the red sixes correspond to the devil card in tarot, and the black sixes correspond to the lovers card in tarot. So again, devil has this connotation because, of course, the material things, like the world validation, is very tempting, and that's why it's probably connected to the devil, that we are tempted to remain at this stage and not evolve past it, because the fulfillment, validation from the world is something everybody wants, because we are all social creatures. Whether we admit it or not, it's in our DNA. So we want this social validation. So that's why it can be tricky, it can be tempting, we can, get stuck there. But the thing is, okay, enjoy the things at the number 6, but then you have to go through the other stages as well. And it's not like we just go through one, process and then we're done with it. Like every day we go through like a multitude of processes and stages in different areas of our life. So it's always an ongoing process, okay? Okay, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments if you have any 6s in your birth spread. I don't have any 6s in my birth spread personally. Let me know what other card videos you would like to see, and make sure to check out my website, yourstarsaligned.com, to book readings either with the cards of truth, manual cast readings, or with using the software, or combined astrology and cards of truth readings, which are really wonderful to do for me. Okay, see you guys soon. Bye.